What's poppin', y'all? I didn't think I'd see it, but DDG gets confronted about botting for both careers, music and streaming. And this was all in an interview panel, more of an interview that he did with academics at ComplexCon for academics collaboration with them. And it first starts off with bot and music. So we get I think these two having a conversation is really great. Funny enough that we didn't see this more often before. Like, I think they've done interviews before, but they're both content guys and they're both music guys. So a lot of great conversations could come out of this. But first it starts off with DDG botting music. And I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Right.
Botting, that's fact.
Say it.
You know something?
Nah. I know botting, though.
You know some of them?
Can I cuss on this?
Of course.
Oh, yeah. Nah, botting for sure. I don't.
And this was in reference to the broader music industry and people buying. We've seen people get cracked down for this. A lot of people were accusing, well, I think this really started ramping up when Kendrick Lamar was accused of botting for Not Like Us. Like, a bunch of accusations came out, regardless whether or not it was botted. It was the biggest song. And prior to that, yeah, J. Cole was talking about, oh, these people buying their streams, getting their plays from machines. That was KOD. But there wasn't too much talk about it. And also keep in mind with Young Thug admitting to it on the phone, like, yo, you still got them bots. We need to make sure Gunna album goes #1 in one of the leaked jail calls while he still wanted Gunna to go #1. And admitting that Gunna went #1 over the weekend's Dawn FM because Sal or Cash? One of those two, one of the XO guys, they stood down, quote unquote, for Young Thug to be able to make sure that Gunna got it with bots, mind you. Or was it? I think it was Dawn FM's second week. Something along those lines. But DDG, he even admits that other people are botting in the rap game. So yeah, it is common. And I don't think anyone believed that DDG was botting music unless they were a real deal DDG hater, because his albums sell significantly less than most. I think the last album before Moo did what, like 10K, which I said was solid numbers. Like, DDG is really off the strength, off the muscle. That's where he's getting his numbers from. His Epic Records is not doing much for him. Look at when Future drops something on Epic Records, and of course you're going to say, like, well, that's Future and DDG are not the same. The point is, the resources that Epic has, they're not really devoting them to promotion for DDG. And I think DDG is just like, hey, I'm not trying to make this the biggest thing ever, and maybe he doesn't want to compromise streaming. So he's like, listen, I'm going to make my music. I'm going to drop my music. The people that mess with it, they'll mess with it. We'll see which tracks are doing the best, and then put some money and motion behind the specific one that's doing well, and then see what happens from there, because he hasn't let this album die. It's not like he just drops it and then left it behind. He's still, like, gauging the response from it. And the response is positive from DDG's peers, both streamers and musicians. But they got into a conversation about DDG doing so many things, including like boxing, streaming, YouTubing, TikTok, music, and how the state and the landscape of music is right now. And I think this created a headline that was posted on Complex Music that other people are going to misconstrue as him saying something he didn't. So first I'm going to play you guys that clip, and then we're going to get into what people are going to misconstrue.
I feel like a rapper can make it in this day and age type. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm just talking about the change in the game. Like, for example, I remember, let's talk about you. I felt like your transition from content creator and YouTuber to rapper, there was a time that there was people like ridiculing it. Like, nah, man, come on, man. Y'all treating this like a rapper? Yo, he's a content creator. And then there was a point where, you know, obviously took time, but then I seen everybody flocking to you, right? Yeah. And I know you had to see that shift where, shit, it was kind of tough for you to get around and do certain shit at first, because they're like, yo, is he serious? So now they're like, oh, shit, he has the meta. How's that change been for you?
I mean, I still deal with it today. You know, people gonna always, you know, try to put you in a box. Whatever they grab. It's people that don't know I even do Twitch. It's people that don't know I made YouTube videos. They only know me for music. And it's people that only know me for Twitch, never clicked on a song in their life. So it's like, that's just what you got to deal with when you splitting your audience up into different industries. You know what I mean? So it's not really much you can do about it. But I do feel like becoming a content creator and then getting into music, it's a hard transition, but it's also a fast track in a way. I feel like the low-key mysterious, that's like the long route. Like it takes 5 to 10 years to finally pop off just straight.
This is a really good point he makes towards the end, which is that, yeah, doing the music thing solely will take 5 to 10 years to pop. I mean, let's just look at some people that have popped this year. Fake Mink, he blew up this year. How long has he been making music? At least 5+ years this guy's been making music. And that's the case for most of these artists. Like Ken Carson, Ken Carson got a strong cosign, but that guy had already been making music for a long time. Destroy Lonely had been making music for at least 5+ years and putting stuff out, I think, before he really got, like, he took off. They try to make it seem like, oh, nah, he was just dropping snippets. Now, for him to get the music to that level where people cared off of a snippet, plus the cosign, it took a very long time. And that does mean that the person will have more, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will have more sustainability over time, because it takes a lot of artists a while to blow up. And then even after they blow up, they may last for a year, 2 years, 3 years max before falling off, quote unquote. But what DDG's talking about here is that he has a fragmented audience. So while DDG may be bigger, broadly speaking, as a brand, the people that like DDG's music is just a subset of that. And there are some people that just listen to DDG's music. It might be passively. They may have heard 1 or 2 songs, like Moonwalking in Calabasas. How many people still listen to that song and probably don't even know DDG's a streamer? They don't even know who DDG is. They're just like, oh yeah, I like this song. It's by this guy named DDG. And he's even saying that there are people that just watch his vlogs and don't care to check out his music. And then obviously there are the people that are super fans of DDG that watch his stream and are in his community, etc. So it is separated, and that's why I don't think he can fully have the identity of whoever you ask, oh, what does DDG do? They may give you an answer, a different answer. Some people say content creator, some people say streamer, some people say musician. Versus you ask, oh, what does Playboi Carti do? They're like, oh yeah, that's a rapper. Oh, what does Yeet do? Okay, that's a rapper. What does Playboi Max do? That's a good question. And that's where DDG's talking about, oh, it's a fast track in a way now, because I don't think there's that stigma anymore. And I don't think anybody considers, if they've been plugged in, they don't consider DDG a YouTube rapper anymore. And that has not been a label for at least 2 years. And Playboi Max, he doesn't get considered a streamer rapper. I don't even know if that term was ever thrown onto anybody. But he got a fast track. He's got a huge song now. He's had multiple huge songs as a rapper and as more of like a curator, DJ Khaled type figure, and he's even helped an artist or two blow up. So in his scenario, content got him to the position where he was able to do this easier. And of course, he started off with music first, or being like a strong fan of music, and it was always a part of his brand. But this is where people started to misconstrue this. So first, I'm going to take the headline. So the headline that was posted on Complex Music, keep in mind, this was Complex Con, so this interview was done underneath Complex. And the headline says, DDG sees music as struggling, content as more lit. He quickly earned his label advance on Twitch. Check it out. This is a good summary of the interview. And then someone who is a writer, mind you, an award-winning writer at Rolling Stone, and someone that makes music said, great, let's rid art scenes of everyone doing art to be lit instead of it being a calling. Now, this is not what DDG was saying. So I'm going to play you guys the clip of what DDG talked about and what academics asked him about, and then we're going to get into it.
The state of rap is right now. I think street rap is down.
You said what?
State of rap.
The state of rap? I think all music in general is kind of fucked up, because I feel like people's attention is going towards content. I feel like content is more lit than music right now. Like, you spend all your time on TikTok in the morning. You be on TikTok scrolling in the morning, don't you?
I'm not too old for that, bro.
It's never too old for TikTok.
I be on Instagram.
Hell nah. I be on TikTok at least an hour when I wake up. Just scrolling, yeah. I mean, I stream, though, so I'll be looking at my clips and seeing what people with and what was clipped and all of that.
I do that on Twitter.
Yeah.
I got a few pages out.
So right here, DDG didn't say anything to disrespect music. He didn't say anything about music as a calling. And I'm going to keep this for a separate video. But DDG actually looks at music as a calling, because this is somebody that already had the money and didn't do music to be lit. He did music. Well, I think he did it to have a different perception of him, but he did music and continue to do music because he loves it. Like, if he only cared about being lit, being a streamer is more lit than being a rapper right now. So he would just drop being a rapper and not make music, but he's still making music, and it costs him money to make music. He's probably losing money on the music right now. And what he's saying is that music has become the backdrop for content, and largely because of TikTok. So, like, for example, we talked about this guy a couple of videos ago, but this guy's Somber. He has a gigantic song right now. It's like 1 billion plus streams. I knew that song. I didn't know who it was by because of TikTok. Like, I started using TikTok like a couple of weeks ago. I got to stay plugged in. It's a great application, by the way. Probably one of the greatest applications ever. And I say that as being a user of many in the past, over the past 4 or 5 years. Actually, no, how long have apps been? Not like 20 some years, since I was a wee lad. So here, I think music, it used to be like, yo, let me turn on the radio and see what music is going to play. It used to be the focal point, but now it's like, oh, what song is that? And then the content is the forefront, and it's like the background music for the content. It's somewhat like how people would discover music via movies, via TV shows, except they're just mini bite-sized pieces of content, and then seeing the music enough makes them check it out. So he is right, and streamers are more lit, as in like kids look up to them and want to be like them, which is a topic I've already covered. So I think this guy, even though he's a writer, he just saw the headline and maybe like he had an emotional reaction to it because he is a beat maker himself, and he probably does that for fun. And yeah, some people, like, the music has always been a mix, especially rap, of people that just saw it as an opportunity and some people that saw it as a calling. And some people, it went from a financial opportunity into a calling later on. And speaking of a calling, content was certainly DDG's calling as well as music, because academics asked him about like him stopping and starting content, because DDG had to take the arrows for anybody else that came after him in making music. And he tried to get people to take him seriously. He abandoned his YouTube audience and content creation to just focus strictly on rap for like a year plus, and then coming back and kind of taking frequent pauses of what he was going to focus on or what he was going to merge. He was laying down the blueprint. That takes a lot of experimentation. Academics asked him about that, and I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now.
Your passion has always been rap, but why go boxing? Why at one time stop streaming, and then why get back into it?
Bro, I love making content, bro. I can't fight that shit. Like, I be trying to, and be like, I only want to make music, but it's like, I'd rather have people doubting my music, and I just continue doing what I love, and then the people that fuck with it. Like, if I don't end up being the biggest rapper in the world, that's cool. I'm still, I'm still one of them, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It used to bother me back in the day, but like, I really don't care for real. Because it's like I'm dominating in anything that I put my complete attention in.
So here, you can just hear from the horse's mouth that DDG really loves the content game. And I think he loves the money of that the content game can bring him specifically, because the content game is not like, oh, there's a lot of money in the content game. Yeah, if you're a DDG. But generally speaking, it's a case-by-case basis, right? Like, when you look at music, yeah, the top artists, they're eating. But if you're a mid-level artist, this is a different story. But when academics was trying to get a question out about money and pocket watching, DDG jumped to give an answer to that. And that was streaming versus rapping. I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Now, you know me, I'm the top pocket watcher in the world. So yeah. I got to kind of go off of something you done said.
Go ahead.
And we got to either prove this myth as false or like actually bring some facts.
Streamers make more money than rappers, 100%. That's what you're finna ask me?
Yeah.
100%, bro. 100,000%.
Explain that.
Bro, it's just too many ways to make money. Like, with content, all this is ads. Like, we getting money from advertisers like McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? You watch a YouTube video, McDonald's ad pop up, we getting paid for that. Like, random, you know what I mean? And then on top of streaming, you got clippers. And you clip your stream, then you getting paid from YouTube and Twitch. So you low-key doing YouTube just by streaming. Like, you ain't even really got.
DDG is correct here. However, because he's saying like, listen, look, if I'm streaming, there's people that's going to clip my streams onto my YouTube. That's going to make me bread. He's also got his Snapchat thing going on. So he can make a lot more money, and Twitch, of course. However, what I don't think DDG mentions is the person active or not? So if a streamer stopped making content for 5 years and a rapper, or let's say a rapper of similar size, like let's say Blackboy Max is at the top of streaming right now. Yeet is pretty high up. I'll say he's a B tier rapper right now. Close to A tier, like B plus tier. I would say he's on the same tier as Gunna. Oh, actually, Gunna's Gunna's not A tier yet. A tier is Travis Scott. So they're B tier. Maybe Yeet is B minus. If Yeet stopped right now, he stopped making music for 5 years, and if Blackboy Max stopped making content for 5 years, who would be making more money? Yeet would be making more money doing nothing than Blackboy Max. Just because the content's going to die. Like, people aren't rewatching content like they're re-listening to music. Like, people will be listening to Get Busy for decades. And you can just see that by certain artists. Like, for example, Cash Out, the guy that just got arrested and is going to prison for several decades for pretty much PIMPing. He still has like 1 million monthly listeners, maybe a couple million, and he hasn't had a song in like a decade. I think his hit was a decade ago, maybe even longer. I don't even remember. But that just goes to show that's one example. And then you've got an example like Rich Homie Quan, who passed away a year, 2 years ago. I don't remember the exact date, but his music is still doing well. And it's not like Rich Homie Quan passed away at a peak like a Juice WRLD or an XXX, where you could say like, oh, well, like he passed away at his peak, so it gave him more hype after he passed away. Like, nah, not really. Like, he got hype for maybe a week and then it just leveled out. But people are still listening to the old music. So that's an important distinction that I think people should make. So like music, if people can make it work, it's a lot more passive, so to speak. But then he gets called out on the streaming botting allegations. And I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Feels like we're in a digital era where we're competing with algorithms.
Yeah, everybody is infatuated by numbers. Like, if you get on Twitch right now, you see somebody with 20,000 and you don't know their name, you're going to click on it just because they got 20,000. I want to see why everybody else watching them. So, yeah, it's a cricket game, you know. I don't bot, though. I never bought it before.
XQC says differently, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's cap, bro. I don't know why he said that. I never bought it.
He threw your name in it, bro. It's cool if you bought it, bro. Like, still got motion.
If I bought it, I would tell you, bro. I got real motion in real life. I don't have to buy. I'm saying I never bought it before, but I see that bot, and it is benefiting them.
So XQC called out DDG for botting streams, and DDG was like a little bit, he understands why people bot streams. And they go on to talk about some streamer that is known because he averages 20K, but they were at ComplexCon and there were only a couple of people that knew him or around him. Meanwhile, DDG's getting swarmed by everybody. But I do think DDG is multi-platform, multi-generational. There are at least two. Blackboy Max grew up watching DDG. There's another generation right now that's 10 years younger that's watching DDG and watching him grow up, or watching him as they grow up. So that just goes to show that he's got a wider spanning fan base over a longer period of time and across multiple different platforms. But I don't think DDG would bot. It's like, if botting made him more money, I think he would do it. But he's already at the top of the Twitch game. And if he were going to bot, he would have botted a couple of years ago when he was getting clowned for his numbers, when he was averaging like 1,000 or under 1,000 viewers. But he just grinded it out. And I believe DDG's viewers are real. Like, who doesn't know who DDG is? And now some people will say, well, Justin Bieber, he started streaming and he only gets this many viewers, so that means these people must be botting. That's a dumb take that I will cover in another video. But I think that's it for this one. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you on the next one.